Hello, kind citizens. It is I, the Good Brother, reporting to you live from Area 757 TV. Did you miss me? Trust me, I have been working hard behind the scenes. I got a lot of things coming up, y'all. And shout out to Enigma Labs, where I've been working with them. They've been sponsoring events right here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where we talk about different sightings provided by you, the people, things that cannot be explained. So I have been working with them. And the reason for this video, because I have an album that will be coming out next year, again, around late 2025, early 2026. But this episode is going to prep you for it, because guess what the name of my album is going to be? 0 Point Energy. I'll say that again. 0 Point Energy is going to be the name of this new album. It's going to be exclusive. I got a lot of features. Now, the reason for this episode is to educate you guys, because the government has been leaving us dumb, deaf, and blind for years. I've talked about this, the technology. And today I'm going to be drawing from the Wi-Files, where, again, I'm going to put the link up there. This is the actual full episode if you want to watch it without me talking and running my mouth. It is a great episode, y'all. And this is where I'm going to be drawing from, because, again, our government wants to leave us dumb, deaf, and blind. A lot of these technologies that have been out since the 1700s, 1800s, you know. Also, Dr. Greer has a nice documentary regarding this called, Lost Century, which I've spoken on before. But without further ado, I want to get into this, y'all, because it's a lot of good information. I want y'all to be educated, so when my album drops, y'all kind of be caught up. But this first video I'm going to get into isn't even about the free energy and, the 0 point or ether energy. This is more about just inventions. You know, a lot of people have come forth with this and they disappear mysteriously. I wonder why. And this first one I'm talking about is Stanley Myers, where, about water power cards and stuff. What if I told you he had this almost back in the 80s, where he was putting it out there? And there's been documented of people, turning water into energy since the 1800s. So this isn't anything new, but I want you to watch this video and pay attention and watch to the end what happens to Stanley Myers. I'll be back and you'll notice a common theme. So this is the Good Brother. Stay tuned.
The top our news here at 6 o'clock, an age-old dream becoming a reality. A local inventor has discovered a way, hear this, to use water to run your car.
The answer to dependence on foreign oil lies all around us.
A car that runs on water instead of gasoline.
The man who invented an engine that can run on water.
Any kind of H2O, he says, can power just about every type of engine.
He's come up with a device that will hook up to any engine and allow it to run on good old H2O.
Stanley Myers.
He's been offered $1 billion in cash by oil-producing countries to sell his patent. So far, he hasn't sold.
Stanley Meyer did not keep his invention secret. He went straight to the news. His announcement made headlines across the country and around the world. He had invented a car that can run on nothing but water. The technology is called electrolysis. This is using electricity to split water into oxygen and hydrogen gas. Now, this isn't a new invention. In 1789, Jan Rudolph Diamond used an electrostatic machine to generate electricity from water that was then discharged to gold electrodes. And throughout the 19th century, various inventors and scientists created machines that could split water into oxygen and hydrogen. But there are a few problems. The process requires a lot of energy, and it requires perfectly pure water. No minerals, no chemicals, nothing. It has to be nothing but H2O. It's very hard to produce pure water. Not only do you need pure water for electrolysis, you need lots of it. Stanley Myers' engine didn't require much water at all. Stan estimated that if he took his water-powered car from coast to coast in the US, it would use only 22 gallons of water. And the biggest breakthrough, it didn't need pure water. It could run on ordinary tap water. He called his invention a water fuel cell injector. The injector breaks water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen. The engine runs on hydrogen gas. He took his car on tour around the country. Engineers inspected it and they said it worked.
Oh, wow. Did he just say it actually worked? And think at this time, it was back in the 80s, where, again, Stanley Meyer had already figured out how cars could run on water. I wonder how his life ended. Pay attention. It's on some real movie shit. Let's get back to the episode.
We recently took a scientific delegation to witness Stan's work, to really evaluate it, and came back saying, this is one of the most important inventions of the century.
Stan's tour got a lot of media coverage. This led to offers from investors and oil companies and even the Pentagon.
Pentagon? Let me guess. That's when things went downhill.
Yup.
Oh, no.
In 1998, Stan was at a restaurant with his brother and a few Belgian investors. They were about to sign a multi-million-dollar deal, so they raised their glasses and made a toast to celebrate. Then Stan suddenly became violently ill. He ran out of the restaurant, fell down in the street, and started vomiting. His brother ran after him. Stan's final words were, "They poisoned me." But his death certificate doesn't reflect that at all. It says he was at lunch with officials from NATO and that he died of a brain aneurysm.
But if you read this statement, you can kind of tell that the coroner was already questioning whether he was actually poisoned or not, and just dismissed being poisoned as such a blatant lie and not true.
It's a damn shame how they did Stanley Myers, and all he did was invent something that can change the world, water-powered cars. And think that was back in the late 1990s, and it still ain't come out yet, which is sad, y'all. They've been suppressing this information, but that's not the worst part. Now let's get into this 0-point energy, which this is all about, y'all. Check this out.
You find out that there's enough energy in the volume of a coffee cup to evaporate all the world's oceans if you could get it all of it.
Enough energy to boil and evaporate all the oceans on Earth from a coffee cup of empty space. This energy is called 0-point energy. And it's generated from the 0-point field. Nikola Tesla, Nikolai Kozyrev, and other scientists called this field the ether. The ether is a field in which everything exists, but it exists in a dimension that our brains can't perceive. Particles blinking in and out of existence have to be coming from and going somewhere. That place is the ether, the base layer of reality. But even though we can't see it, this layer can be disrupted with electromagnetism. Tesla famously said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He tried to harness energy from the 0-point field using the tower he built on Long Island.
Tesla link below.
Now, Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower tapped into this endless supply of energy. The tower was considered an over-unity device. An over-unity is when something gives out more energy than is put in. Now, mainstream science claims this is impossible, again because it breaks the second law of thermodynamics. But for over 100 years, scientists and inventors have proved that claim wrong. 0-point energy devices also violate the conservation of energy, that energy can't be created or destroyed. But those inventors don't claim to be creating energy from nothing. They are tapping into the energy that already exists everywhere all around us.
So, just like you just heard, Tesla was talking about this back in his day. 0-point energy, and was already tapping into it. But even back then, as of now, they don't want people to have free energy, and it's been suppressed through the years. Because as you're about to see, there has been other inventors to come along, try to patent and unlock it for the world. But guess what happened to them? I'm not going to say much. Let's keep
Why
watching.
suppress thousands, maybe tens of thousands of inventions that could clean our planet and provide free energy for everyone on Earth?
For money and power.
Yep. There are literally hundreds of trillions of dollars at stake. So next time you're arguing with a friend or family member about climate change, remember the energy industry and the United States government want you to hate each other. Don't play into their hands. A declassified document made in the 1970s lists categories of inventions that are considered secret. One of those categories is for energy systems that are more than 70 to 80% efficient, and solar panels that are more than 20% efficient. If you patent an efficient energy or propulsion device, it gets slapped with a secrecy order. Do you want proof? In 1971, over 50 years ago, someone patented a solar panel that was 20% efficient. It was made secret. You could have had solar panels on your house for years, but you never knew they existed.
So you heard what he said. As soon as you try to patent something that's energy efficient, and once it reaches a certain level and shows that it can work, they slap it with a secrecy clause. So the American people never know, and they can hoard the energy because they want us to remain dumb, deaf, and blind, y'all, which is very sad. So let's get into why they would do this. I think you guys would know, and they're going to break down how much of a crime it is. This whole American patent system is designed to keep us dumb, deaf, and blind. Pay attention.
And its current approach is it's actually breaking the law. It's trying to make happy the physicists who are with American Physical Society, to keep them in power with their ideas, you might say, and withhold from public use good inventions that could solve our problems, like the energy crisis.
For over 100 years, these technologies have been suppressed, keeping society in a state of complacency, poverty, and pollution. The Federation of American Scientists spoke about suppression in 2010, calculating that in that year alone, 5,135 inventions were given a secrecy order. Most of these patents had to do with clean energy, anti-gravity, and alternative methods of propulsion. Over 5,000 in 1 year. So how many in 10 years? How many in 100? What technology is being hidden from us?
Exactly. How long have they been suppressing this knowledge, y'all, just to keep us in the dark, just so these power companies can continue to get rich? Again, water and power should be free for everyone. Now it's the time for us to stand up and demand disclosure. Once they break UFO, UAP disclosure and give us some truth, again, people are going to be wild that we are not alone. But thus in the field, we're going to be 20 steps ahead. We're going to be asking, what have y'all been doing with this re-engineered technology? Why haven't y'all given it to the people? So y'all see the whole system is designed, again, to keep us dumb, deaf, and blind. So I implore all of y'all, go watch this full episode of the Y-Files because it's amazing, y'all. Their YouTube channel is good. That way you don't got to hear me talking throughout because there's so much more. They talk about how many people have been off. They give you names. It is scary, y'all. This is a deep rabbit hole, and you'll see how the system is designed. And my album, 0 Point Energy, will be coming out, I want to say late 2025, 2026. I want to make sure this is right. This is going to be a game changer. I'm blowing the lids off a lot of things, and I'm honestly going scorch earth. So get ready for that. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. The Good Brother ain't going nowhere, y'all. I'm fucking pissed off. We about to turn it up 4 more notches, y'all. So there are things coming down the pike. This future Gatekeeper episode, you already know I'm naming names. And even some of these channels out here that just be putting out bullshit content. I'd rather give y'all substance. So this is the Good Brother signing out. We are far from done, y'all. Stay tuned, like and subscribe to this channel. I am not done. All right, y'all, be easy.